right, welcome back. If you're just joining us, we've been talking to two SME owners, I think I can use that safely, who had their properties demolished by the Lagos state government. Let me say allegedly, since we haven't heard any word from government yet. But I mean, okay, you say you've heard from government. What exactly did they say?
They put out a press statement yesterday, and it's now in the newspapers.
Okay.
And it's very focused on that they served the owner a notice before they demolished.
Basically.
They went on to use most of the rhetoric they've been talking about of their commitment to the beauty and serenity of Lagos, their commitment to removing shanty structures and all. And we laugh because you've shown your audience the pictures of our store, and we know what else, people know what Women's Road was like before the stores came up, and we know what is still existing on Women's Road that were not turned down. So these are the questions we ask ourselves. So they've come out. They said in their press statement, they said they focused just on the owner, and they said it's the owner, which is, you know, they served notice. But I do know on social media, they have come out to add, people said, yes, they knew about the owner, but they also served the tenants notice. So today we have...
If all 6 tenants say no, they weren't served notice.
They were not served any notice.
But before the break, during the break, sorry, you were talking about all of the payments you've made to various Lagos state government agencies up until about June, I think.
Yes, up until, I mean, till now, since we've been opened, we've paid LASA. We've also paid...
Well, the ad in charge of like advertising.
Exactly.
Advertising agency.
We also have acquired our necessary licenses from the local government, our health and safety licenses. An inspection has been done. So in the premises, the local government came. They've done an inspection. They came. They've checked all our food handlers tests. They've checked our water certificates. They've checked all of this, and they come. I mean, they come regularly. They do their jobs. So you know, government has, can I say, been involved with our business since we were there. I mean, we know what the place, I know what the place looked like when we arrived and what it is today. Women's Road was a road that was so difficult to go by. Now the road has been done. You know, there are no potholes like there were before in front of you know, the strip at the beginning, as you can see. From the pictures, we've cleaned it up, we've cleared it out, we've tidied up the area. So if we're talking about beautification of Lagos, that is something that we've contributed to as well.
Yeah. It's very hard for a lot of people to understand. I mean, especially for you, because I know you cried out a lot, especially on social media with the video, and a lot of your friends reposted and all of that. And it's about, you know, what happens to SMEs going forward from here. You know, I know the Lagos state government, I think the governor in particular, I'm not sure exactly, about a week or two ago, after we had the issues with flooding in Lagos, mentioned this demolition that structures are going to be taken out of Lekki, Victoria Island, and Ikoyi in particular. So people are wondering if that was the trigger for all of this. But even at that, what does this do for small businesses now? Who, I'm sure you have a lot of colleagues who also own businesses like this. What are they thinking now? What happens to them?
Yeah. On the point you just raised of Lagos State actually putting something out recently just about 2 days before this demolition,
they said they were
yes, they said they were going to demolish illegal structures. They want to beautify Lagos, and they were going to do it within 14 days. They wanted to do it after Salah.
Okay.
So even if Women's Road was on the list, I've heard it was somewhere in Ikorodu or whatever, but even if Women's Road was on that list, it's not after Salah, it's not 14 days. So why did you move so quickly for Women's Road? So we ask ourselves that question. So that really is just to address that bit. Then you asked about people who are looking to this area. And for many of us, and Nika will speak about her empowerment of young women and all, but it was so important for us, what we were doing and what we're building. We've left jobs, 9-to-5 jobs. We've pumped our sweat and our equity, our own money into these businesses. We've started employing young people. At Newly Juice, we pay 2.5 times above the minimum wage. Young people, giving them dignity on a job, training them, giving them skills. So if it is job creation, we're doing that. And the multiplier effect of it, we're very focused on made in Nigeria, very focused on indigenous production. We're proud of where we're from. And that's what we did. Even Newly was becoming quickly known for a place that any young entrepreneur who had a product or something and needed to get it out, we would gladly take it and expose them to others so they can start earning salaries and sales from it. So it does send a wrong signal, and that's why it was very important for us to quickly let people know that we're not going to be deterred. We will speak out. We have a platform to do so, and we thank you for letting us be here today. And we will speak out for those who maybe typically don't have the voice to. We were lucky we were able to record some things and put it out there. But we have to draw attention to this, because if you're a government that is talking about jobs creation, they had just announced 2 days before that we were in a recession. The IMF said we were going to grow by 1.8%.
In the negative.
In the negative. So how do you then go to businesses that are still thriving and investing? Nika and I were talking earlier about, it's not just about the jobs we create, it's the multiplier effect. It's the carpenter I would call to say, please, though, this thing has broken down. It's the plumber that we were calling almost every other day to say, Mr. Ido, we'll come and fix this thing. It's that. And some of them are still calling me, Madam, please, that money you said. And I'm like, please. The last 2 days have been traumatic. So that is what we need to think about, and the consequences of this. And very quickly, I'll touch on the consequence, because I'm at a position that, I've been investing in private equity and all of that. And I'm at a position that there's a lot of interest in, wow, this is an indigenous company that looks so global.
Yes.
I've been so focused on building a proudly Nigerian brand that can stand anywhere in the world and be proud. So people were interested in investing. So I was thinking about what the structure should be. Okay, I need to start going to all my contacts around the world and saying it's the time to invest in Nigeria. This act, I don't even know what to say for my business strategy, because I would have had the section of business environment and talked about how the government is focused on youth creation, focused on agricultural value chains, focused. Now that's all gone, because they would look at me and say, okay, what government is focused on that? The conditions are bad. If they could come in a blink of an eye and shut you down, not just shut you down. They didn't seal me. They crushed us in a blink of an eye.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Nika, you've run your business for how long now?
I've been running my business for 9 years now.
For 9 years now.
Yes.
Have you seen anything like this, first of all?
I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen anything like this.
What are some of the, up until this point now, people always wonder, because this show is mostly targeted at younger people who want to, do things like this. What are some of the things you have noticed? Is this a pattern, even if it has never been this bad? Has there been a pattern where you've noticed that maybe government has been the issue, or, laws have impeded, whatever it is you want to do with your business?
To be honest, starting a business in this country, everybody knows how difficult it is. And when you do take that plunge, the amount of people that say, congratulations, well done, you did it, you took a chance. It's almost like it's an impossible thing, but you were able to break through that glass. So, people know how difficult it is, how challenging it is. There's always an issue. If it's not the power, the water, the generator, there's always something every day, and we're constantly firefighting. Now, what we don't want is a situation where we're also constantly firefighting with the government. People say almost like we're almost an island where we're doing a lot of these things by ourselves. We know what is happening now with the cost of our produce. When you go to the market, everything has doubled. So things are really difficult for Nigerians, for businesses, etc. So it's not the time to be crushing people even further. How low must we go? Yeah. We really are trying to make a difference. What we do, Ada spoke briefly about the empowerment of women. I'm very much for training ladies, especially young ladies, to learn a skill. So we do that all the time. We have a training school as well in Lekki Phase 1. I was telling a story about one of my staff who started with me 5 years ago as a cleaner. And she just came, she was looking for a job. I said, okay, fine, just start cleaning and mopping and washing. And from then on, she moved herself, she learned, she was dedicated, we trained her, she was empowered. She became an assistant to the bakers. She became the head of the baking department. She led a team of 7 people. Wow. Now, she left us 2 months ago. She got married, and she's gone on to start up her own business. So she's also going to train other people, create more jobs, etc. And we're really happy about these sorts of stories. Yeah.
Before we go, what next now for Nolly Juice? How many branches did you have before?
We have one small branch in Abuja.
In Abuja,
yes,
and then
it's 6 months old.
Okay.
That was almost like our test, but we were proudly telling people that Lagos is our flagship.
Yes.
It's one that had a seating area. It's one people could come in and play games, read a book. They used words like serenity. It's such a serene place. They used words like it takes us away from the bustle of Lagos.
So what happens now?
You know, social media has been amazing. We came out and we said that we're not going to be defeated and we have to continue. My staff were crying and they were weeping that day because I guess for them they thought their jobs were gone. And I was not going to have that happen. We've had some people even reach out to say they would cover salaries for a month, you know, help us with 2 staff for a month. We've had people reach out to say we have space. So Lagosians and Nigerians, they meet you, you see the humanity there. So it's so sad when you think about what happened, that even if it's the law and people, they tell us it's the law that caused this, even the law has a human face. You know, we have to think about that. So we're hoping that very quickly we can find a way to work with our landlord, work with the government, work with the Nigerian people to get up and running again in whatever way possible. But we have to continue. We have to show that this is the essence of our nation. Without small businesses who make up over about 39% of our economy, our GDP, we have to support. And it's the only way we can grow at a time like this.
Yeah, Nika, of course, this is not the end of Nuts About Cakes, is it?
This is not the end of Nuts About Cakes. I mean, that's why we're here today. You know, we need to speak out. We need to shed light on it. We need to pave a path forward. We're going to constantly be looking at a way to rebuild ourselves, because we can't just sit down. This sort of thing can't happen and then you go and sit down and cry and then do nothing about it. I'm glad that I'm actually a voice for other people that this must have happened to as well, and maybe they haven't had the opportunity to speak up about it and to move themselves forward. So we really are going to move forward.
Are you looking at legal action, taking legal action?
No.
We've discussed it, not yet. We don't believe we need to at this time because, like we said, even if this thing was legal, illegal, whatever, we're looking more at, it's just the way it was carried out. This is wrong and it just needs to be addressed because it's sending a signal to the rest of the world, to Nigerians, to the young people who are looking up to trying to do entrepreneurship. Many people said, oh my gosh, isn't it ironic that Mark Zuckerberg was here just the day before and they put it everywhere, encouraging small businesses, and then we have this. So, you know.
Yeah, you said no, regardless of how it turns out?
Well, I think right now we're still sort of caught in the crossfire.
Yes.
We don't fully understand what happened. Till today, I can't tell you why the structures were demolished. And this is you know, a few days after, and we still have no sort of letter that has said, you know, this was an acknowledgement copy or this was what was sent to you, etc. So we still don't even know why. Are there
stories that there were stories about the landlord being in the bad books of somebody in government? Is that true? Have you heard anything like that?
There's been a lot of things going around back and forth.
There are all sorts of conspiracy theories.
we can't really comment on that, to be honest, because we can't, you know, we don't know. Really.
Do you get a sense that this is a one-off or this is going to happen a lot more in Lagos?
We just heard about Elegushi, that they brought down some duplexes, residential, though. Yesterday, yes. So it's another thing that you say, wow. But I think for us is that this is a recession. This is a time that we really should be thinking, yes, it may be the law, you're going by the book, but at times you can take a step back and say, hey, let's work at this. It should be a win-win, you know? So
before we're going to I don't, it's probably too early to be asking this, but I think the lessons you probably learned from this. I know it's probably still a time when you're still going through your emotions and trying to understand exactly what happened, but just very quickly, maybe in one word, what have you learned from all of this, if any at all?
I mean, I have many words, to be honest. You know, I think obviously a lot of people have also said, you know, be diligent, go and find out. But you know, you trust what your landlord tells you after you paid rent, after you have a contract, after you have, you know, this is what we will do and this is what you will do. So you know, there's only so many questions you can ask.
I guess my word is tenacity.
Tenacity. That's a good word. That's a very good. And you've shown a lot of that, both of you. Thank you very much, Nika. Thank you very much, Ada, for being being here today. We're rooting for both of you.
Thank you.
And for all the other 4 businesses who also brought, and of course all SMEs in Nigeria who continue to thrive in spite of government.
Yes.
Thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We'll take a quick break now and be right back. Please stay with us.